Louisiana is facing the threat of lawsuits after the state's governor signed a law requiring all public classrooms to display the Ten Commandments.
As American as apple pie and vanilla ice cream, you can't post the religious dictates of just certain religions and wade into religious debates and favor one interpretation, the Protestant version, over another.
That was Rachel Laser last night on SCRIPPS Newsline, the CEO of Americans United for Separation of Church and State. Today, we're looking at the other side of this issue. Pastor Marc Little is in favor of the new Louisiana law and joins us now. Good morning to you. So why do you support this?
First of all, it's good to be with you. You know, you got to love Governor Landry. As a charter school founder myself, in Los Angeles many years ago, K through 12, I'm acutely aware that our inner city schools, our public schools, are like war zones. You know, after we took prayer out of schools in 1962, schools in particular, but the culture in general, really took a free fall. And so if more God isn't the answer, I don't know what is. In this case, the legislature, Governor Landry, have done something very creative, because of course we have the you can't violate the First Amendment's Establishment Clause that says that the government, federal government in particular, cannot establish a state religion. But there are two Supreme Court cases that really are interesting here. That is McCreary and Van Orden, where there are 10 commandments in the state courthouses. In one case, the Supreme Court ruled and held that, in fact, the government needed to be neutral, and that if there was going to be anything, it had to have a secular purpose. But then at the same time, that was in Kentucky, by the way, but in Texas, there were monuments placed on state-owned land, and they found that the government did not violate the Establishment Clause by allowing those monuments to stay on the land, and said because it was a passive acknowledgement of a religious heritage. And I think that's what Governor Landry and the Louisiana legislature are after here. It will be litigated, and I think we're going to get a new Supreme Court opinion because it's not state-funded.
So,
in fact, it is allowing other types of monuments to be a part of it as well.
So Pastor, civil rights groups are already challenging this new law, the ACLU calling it a form of religious coercion, saying that the displays of the Ten Commandments will, quote, send a chilling message to students and families who do not follow the state's preferred version of the Ten Commandments, that they do not belong and are not welcome in our public schools. How do you respond to that?
Well, it simply isn't the case. If we were imposing a Ten Commandment Christian religious studies program, then that would be one thing. And the Supreme Court really did address that, where it is not coercive, where in fact you're not making people adhere to a particular religion. That it's called passive acknowledgement. And I think that they're going to be able to actually overcome those kinds of arguments in this case. It's going to be very interesting.
So, and really quick before we let you go, do you then believe that other symbols or versions of, I guess, the Ten Commandments in other religions should be put on posters around the room as well with that line of thinking, or just the Ten Commandments in Christianity?
I think that, and here's where federalism comes in. If you look at the concurring opinions by Justice Thomas in the Van Orden case in Scalia, it's interesting. They don't believe the Establishment Clause should be applied to states. And so in federalism, the states get to decide, just like so many other important issues of our day. If a state
that's not my question. With all due respect, that's not my question. What do you believe? Should that then be the case that you allow that type of posters or areas in the classroom for prayer that other religions abide by, if that's your line of thinking when it comes to the Ten Commandments? Should those be allowed in classrooms as well?
Yes, they should be, because we have students of all faiths, cultures, and backgrounds. I don't have a problem with that at all. And I think that's the challenge in our community. We want to force each other out. And I think we need to be working to bring each other in.
Pastor Marc Little, thanks for coming on. We appreciate it.
Thank you so much.